Hello, it's April 23rd, and I'm in the wonderful, lovely city of Venice in Italy. And I can say that everything here is a magical place, and you can't even put words to it. The city itself is 100 islands or so, all connected by really lovely bridges. And the rivers run through in these canal streets, and boats and gondolas, of course, run throughout it as well. For the most part, the food actually isn't that expensive. Oslo was way more expensive, and even Rome was. The rest of the city, though, is something that you can just wander. You should get lost on purpose, just to follow the streets, follow the atmosphere, and to be part of the city itself. And everything is so permanent feeling. Everything is made out of brick and stone, but it sits in this constant movement of water, which is very unique. I've never seen something so prestigious of a city. And as you can see, looking around, the colors are fantastic. The beautiful fluorescence of yellows and pinks and greens, they all intermix to make that beautiful, cohesive movement that the city exists in. Unfortunately, many of the residents are leaving. It's becoming more of a tourist city. There isn't really space to raise children or to work. But on the other hand, that is what it is. That's the reason it exists still, is because of the tourists. So I don't know if it's a good or bad thing in itself. It's a very interesting existence the city has. On the other hand, as well, the city itself is sinking. Every year, I believe it's dropping a few inches. The buildings are slowly falling apart. So in itself, it is a sinking city. It is a losing city. So it kind of adds to that appeal of anti-permanence that counters the permanence of what it looks like. So in itself, it is unique, very unique. But to be here, to walk around in the city, to exist and live in the old area, it brings back this remnants of an idea that you cannot exist in unless you come to a place like this and actually live in, or at least sleep in for a while, the older part of the city, the spaces, the hostile resident spaces that don't exist. I'm staying at a old residence that is calculated, is brought by some of the old folk that live around here, and it's a very interesting and lovely concept and idea to bring up and keep your old housing that doesn't really you can't really buy anymore. I mean, one square flat costs $1 million, so how do you keep that without without purchasing it from an old family? So finding a residence or some hotel that you can stay at that is an old person's home, an old place that they still hold precious to them is where you want to stay for sure. And try to keep out of the tourist areas. Most of the old sectors like this one, though people walk through it, it is so fantastic. It's so lovely to have no one walking around and taking up your time. And the streets are so chaotic and labyrinthy that you walk and walk and walk. You could walk through the same street and never know. And that's kind of the beauty of how the city exists and how the city performs. Now, of course, Vivaldi was raised here, and being my favorite composer, I can see his inspiration, see his power that he brings to this area. It's a wonderful thing to see and to behold. For everything that is proposed through his music is brought to life by the colors in the building, and the rivers and the canals and the birds. They all fly around, they all intermix and create that beauty that exists here. So overall, Venice really brings out some of the most magical spaces and the most magical experiences. The Church San Marco here is unlike any other church I've been to, probably my favorite church I've ever been in. It's almost gold in itself, a beautiful gem. So finding spaces like that and existing in some type of space like that is beyond recognition, beyond beauty. So if you can enter that and find some solace in the Venetian city and the Venetian streets, is something that you must do before you die, that's for sure. So hopefully tonight I can see a Vivaldi concert and live up to its name, and we'll certainly find out. The city is lovely and beyond words, so try to do it. Try to come in.